Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're all doing well. For this video, continuing on with a bit of a unboxing and review of the Thor set, third set of 4 from this Zimo Super Heroes brick building subline brand, faux Lego, whatever it actually wants to be known as. So prior to this video, I've done an unboxing at least of the Captain America set, and I actually did try to do a unboxing review and time lapse of the Spider-Man set. So with a bit of luck, I will repeat it again for Thor with a little bit of learnings from the Spider-Man set. So here we have the Thor set with Thor wielding what I can only assume is a miniature version of Stormbreaker. And in terms of his vehicle, it seriously looks like Thor is riding the Quinjet. But that's okay. So there we go. And similar to the Spider-Man set, this set looks like it will have a firing mechanism with some very large missiles. So that's the front of the box. Quick look at the top, nothing all too interesting other than just another shot of the front artwork. In terms of the back, getting quite used to seeing this, so another shot of Thor, just the image flipped. Seen Captain America, done Spider-Man, and Iron Man will be the last set to do. So it's definitely been a very interesting journey doing these, what I will start calling faux Lego sets. Having said that, now that I've done the Spider-Man set, the quality actually wasn't bad at all. Other than not having the word Lego written all over the block, it didn't have any issues building. It's actually quite tight and secure for some of the joints, the ball and socket pieces being a good example, so it actually wasn't a bad experience at all. So here's hoping we can repeat it. So opening the box, I've semi-cheated and pre-opened. Much like the other sets that we have seen, we get this nice little A5 piece of paper with the build instructions over the front and the back. Now, Thor set's supposed to be 83 bricks, well, 83 pieces, so it could very well be the one set with the most pieces. Be interesting to see how it goes, especially given that the colors are pretty much grey, more grey. So that's the manual. In terms of the 2 bags that we get, so starting with the bigger bag, so there's a lot of greys and dark colors in there. We do have some blues and some translucent blue pieces. I can also see Thor. Let's see if I can turn him around. I can. His head, however, is sadly not how it's been displayed on the packaging and the manual. To be honest, isn't too surprising. But like Spider-Man and Captain America, and I can only imagine the same for Iron Man, he doesn't have his arms attached. So yes, weird. So that was the larger of the 2 bags, and then the smaller of the 2 bags. So some of the smaller pieces. We do have Thor's arms there, and no doubt his hands will be in here as well. His spot of hair, and yeah, that's not too bad. So that would just be some smaller pieces. So now that we've had a look at the packaging, we've had a look at what is inside, I will yet again attempt to do a bit of a time-lapse video of putting this all together, and then once that's done, have a quick review of the finished set. And with Thor now all put together, I'm actually quite surprised by the general look of the quote-unquote Quinjet. Even at this size, it's actually not too bad. I'm actually almost tempted to take Thor off it, take the steering sticks off, and just leave it as a miniaturized Quinjet. Anyway, what does the set look like? So I guess we can start with the top down, the bottom up, from the front, the side, the back. Bit of a angle on the back, and bit of a angle from the front. So colors wise, now that everything's all put together, so it is a predominantly light and dark grey little jet, with some of this nice dark blue in various places that has a bit of colour, as well as some of these little translucent blue bits as well. So overall there's a nice little sprinkling of colours throughout the set. We also have the two bits of red underneath, well, as well as the back, for the quote-unquote underslung missiles. So I'm not going to try and actually eject one out, but I would wager it's just apply a lot of force here to cause it to projectile out. I've already put Thor on the jet just to keep him there and safe. His little representation of Stormbreaker isn't too bad. Could be a bit longer in the actual heft of the weapon, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not too bad. At least I actually made an effort to give it a proper axe looking head. So that's the colours. That's a bit of a look of the actual set. Articulation, well, some of these bits can actually move. Should they? Should they not? It's subject to interpretation. Trying to figure out what this rear one at the back is supposed to do. Maybe it's supposed to be a bit of a little rampway. So depending on what you want to do with these components, you can put them down, you can flip them up a little bit, etc, etc. There's a little bit of movement or articulation just in these sections in here, where you can definitely bring the wings down. You can reset the wings back into their normal position, but with some of these pieces here, the wings will not go upwards. But I kind of like it. This as well. You can almost make a weird Star Wars looking type of vessel now just by having the wings down and just playing with some of those flaps. Sadly will not stand upright on its flaps. It does become a little bit top heavy, but yeah, there you go. It's a nice little novelty bit of articulation. Now in terms of being on an actual level surface, yes, the actual set will have no problems, given that it's just a nice little long bar there. Now this front section also looks like I'll have a bit of articulation here, based on this little connector there. I don't know why, but who knows? Maybe it's supposed to make like some weird secret combining mode type thing. I mean, that could almost be a backpack, could almost be a head. Given the spider mech, could be a set of legs. Who knows? So yes, there's some articulation in here. Whether it should be there or not is anyone's guess. These little levers will move up and down, not a problem. And I won't go too much into the Thor minifig, given that he's pretty much a standard minifig. And I think I've missed another section of articulation. Yeah, just one here with more being able to bend the wings all the way up, bend the wings all the way down. that is kind of cool. And I'm sure you can probably do some form of artistic license and bend some wings up, bend some wings down, and things like that. And yeah, before you know it, you've almost got a stealth-looking jet mode. No, that's very cool. I like how there's a little bit of playability there, just with some different looks and aesthetics, just based on what you do with the wings. So yes, in terms of the build, putting it together wasn't a problem. There were some pieces that I thought could have been an issue. So there was a little bit of force needed just to make sure that the bricks would go in. Otherwise, these joints are all quite strong and sturdy. The bricks have all come together quite nicely. So in terms of the build, it, despite being a faux Lego set, it doesn't have the actual feel and build and look of a faux Lego set, other than not having the word Lego emblazoned on the brick heads. So that's obviously a good sign about the product. It was pretty straightforward to put together. The look actually does look quite nice. The colors that it has is also quite nice. So overall, it's actually not a bad product. And the prices, as I've mentioned a few times, is just on par with a Lego polybag. So it isn't an expensive set either. Any weaknesses? Well, going back to the build and some of those pieces not being as super smooth like a Lego build, but it's neither here or there. If the pieces never actually came together and connected, that would definitely have been a bit of a weakness of the product, but because everything's still come together, it's a fairly minor nitpick. For its costs, it doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses. I mean, if it was completely 100% lacking any articulation, that would be one, but I quite like how the wings can be moved in different positions and orientations, and so yeah, it's actually not too bad. So overall, it's not a bad product. I wouldn't say there's any weaknesses for its price point. So yes, it's definitely pretty good. So that brings us to an end of a unboxing, time lapse, and review of the Thor Zimo Super Hero set. Definitely quite fun. I will still do a short for the actual set itself, but I'll probably wait until all 4 sets have been completed before I do a combined set, just to make life a touch bit easier. And I think it's probably a bit more worth people's time to see all 4 together as opposed to 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. And yeah, I think it would be pretty cool. But I'll definitely have an independent short for this Thor set. Thank you very much for watching this combined unboxing, time-lapse and review video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, link below. Stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in a future video, which, with most certainty, I was going to say will be the Iron Man set, but there may be something else on the way. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. Otherwise, I'll catch you all later. See ya.